Hey, I'm Todd, and in this video we're going to talk about autonomous database. Welcome back. This is Todd, and in this video we're going to take a look at autonomous database. Now, what is autonomous database? Well, it is a fully managed, pre-configured database environment with two workload types available: autonomous transaction processing, also known as ATP, and autonomous data warehouse, also known as ADW. Now, the beauty of ADB is that you don't need to configure or manage any hardware or install any software. After provisioning, you can scale the number of CPU cores or the storage capacity of the database at any time without impacting availability or performance. Now, autonomous database handles creating the database as well as the following maintenance tasks: backups, patching, upgrading, tuning. All of this is handled automatically. No developer intervention is required. Now, ADB is available in both dedicated and shared infrastructure varieties depending on your needs. If you choose the shared infrastructure flavor, your system will support autoscaling, and that enables the system to automatically adjust the number of CPU cores as demand requires. Autoscaling can be enabled or disabled at any time. Autonomous database is available as part of the always free tier. You can have up to 2 instances with 20 gigabytes of storage and 1 CPU completely free forever. Now, this is a perfect way to try out autonomous database and learn how easy it is to use with your applications and workloads. Now, let's take a look at how to create your first autonomous database instance in the Oracle Cloud. Now, the first step to creating our autonomous instance is right from the Oracle Cloud dashboard. We click the quick launch icon for create an ATP database. And once we get into the create autonomous database wizard, we're going to just provide some basic information for the instance. The first thing we want to do is provide a display name, and in this case we're just going to call it demo ATP instance, and then a database name. Now, this can only contain letters and numbers, and it's a maximum of 14 characters, so no hyphens. In this case, let's just call it a demo ATP. And then down below, we're going to choose our workload type. In our case, we're going to leave it as transaction processing. And then our deployment type, shared infrastructure versus dedicated, we're going to leave it as shared infrastructure. Now, down here, we can specify the amount of CPUs and storage. This can be changed later on, as well as the auto scaling option, whether we want that enabled or not. And again, this can be changed later on. We're going to go ahead and leave the defaults: 1 CPU, 1 terabyte of storage, and auto scaling enabled. If we wanted to take a look at Oracle 19c in Autonomous Database, we would check Enable Preview Mode. In our case, we're going to leave that unchecked, and then we're going to provide a password. Now, this password must be between 12 and 30 characters and contain an uppercase letter, a lowercase letter, and 1 number. So next, we have the option to provide specific ACL or access control rules. We're not going to provide anything specific at this time. Finally, the final option here is to choose a license type. If we have an existing license for Oracle Database, we can check Bring Your Own License. In my case, I'm going to say License Included. And finally, I'm going to click on Create Autonomous Database. And at this point, you're taken to the Autonomous Database Details page. Now, it's going to take a few minutes to configure everything and get it up and running. Once it's up and running, we can take a look further at some of the additional features here in Autonomous Database. Now that our Autonomous Database ATP instance has been created, we can see some details in the instance details page. Really, basically just that same information we provided on the previous screen: the CPU count, storage, so on and so forth. And we're able to modify some of those things at this point. But the one thing I want to point out here before we move on is that backups, as I said, are handled automatically by the ATP instance. So if we come into backups, you can see all of the automatic backups listed here. In this case, it's a brand new instance, so there are none listed yet. But as you move forward, all of your automatic backups will be available and listed here in this page. And that's what it takes to create an autonomous database instance in the Oracle Cloud. In a future video, we're going to take a look at managing the autonomous database instance, as well as connecting up to it and downloading our wallet credentials.